You're watching Retirement Talk with Erik Kearney, Southwest Florida's retirement television. He's an author, a radio host, a fiduciary, and Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor. Here is Senior Investment Advisor Erik Kearney.
Welcome to Retirement Talk TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Erik Kearney, and Erik is President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Erik, how are you today? It's always a pleasure to see you.
As well as you, Cynthia.
You're always smiling, always happy. Is this you all the time?
This is me all the time.
I love it, and I've known that for knowing you now for so long, that you are literally always happy. So it just makes me smile.
I appreciate that. You know, there's been an interesting thing, and we've talked about this in the past, where people come in and they're like, "Oh, Erik, I'm surprised at a meeting with you." Well, who else are you going to meet with, right? But yeah, I mean, we enjoy talking to a lot of people, and from the TV show, there's been a lot of great interest in that as well. And so, again, we want to be down to earth with a lot of people, very genuine, because again, this is kind of an overwhelming topic for a lot of people, especially with this year. It's been a very emotional roller coaster for a lot of people. So I'm excited about being in 21, getting excited, and just, you know, kind of putting all that in the past and saying, okay, we did a great job last year. Now what do we have to do for this year? It's just an ongoing thing. And again, I think that we've done a really good job. Our clients are very happy. But again, Cynthia, it never stops. It keeps going. We still have to, you know, there's going to be things ahead of us that we have to combat again. And we just got to figure out how to do that.
Absolutely. And I love today's show, Emotional Investor Hotline, How May I Help You? Is that what it's feeling like lately? Like all these calls that you're getting and a lot of people are just not sure what to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been, you know, I mean, we make light of it, but, you know, there's been a lot of people who've had a very difficult year. And so financially, we're trying to put them in a better position. But even a lot of my own clients, even though we've had a great year, we've done financial planning, it still does get a little emotional. And so, again, you know, you had a difficult year. You had a lot of the protests, you had the COVID, you had vaccines that were hoping to come out, you had an election year. And so there was just one thing, it just seemed to be piling on one after another, and our emotions do take over. And the problem is that our emotions start to take over, our positive thoughts are replaced by our negative thoughts. And I think as our firm, we didn't underreact, we didn't overreact, we kind of went with the markets do what they do. They go up and down. But we have to be prepared for that through anything. And again, through all the proactive planning that we've done, we were able to get through it. But there's a lot of people who didn't have that in the past. And I think that they became untethered from their advisor this year. They feel like, you know what, I don't have it with you anymore. Like, there's no communication. I have no direction from you. And this is a true story. About 3 months ago, we had a client that came in and he said, I literally sat down with my advisor and he said, what are we going to do? And the advisor said, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what to do.
Really?
And he felt very, it was a big moment for me, because I can't go back to my client and say, I have no idea what to do. I mean, we have to have a proactive plan in place for anything that could happen. Whether it's a virus that comes out of nowhere or a pullback in the market or whatever could happen. But the common denominator with that client was, along with a lot of other new clients that we've taken on, no financial plan. So there's nothing to go back to say, look, where did I start? What direction am I going? What about all the what ifs that could happen? And so again, we have to prepare that client for all of these financial hurdles that come along. And again, the COVID isn't going to be the last thing. There's going to be something else and something else, especially all throughout our retirement. But we have to be prepared for that.
Absolutely. Erik, let me ask you, how important is it for people to turn off their TV right now? Right?
Yeah. The financial media is terrible. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. They want us to keep watching. They want you to think that you have to know about every single world event at all times. Even after a new news anchor comes on, what do they talk about? The same thing that the past one was talking about, the same thing that the next anchor is going to talk about. It's the same news recycled with different points of view, but yet we still feel like we can't leave that. The best advice that I gave to my clients over the past 12 months wasn't even financial advice. I said, look, You guys have these beautiful preserves around us. You can go fishing. When was the last time you went down to the causeway and you took in a sunset? When was the last time you packed a picnic basket and went to the beach? We have all these beautiful beaches. When was the last time you were there? It's time, Cynthia, that we have to disconnect from the social media. We have to disconnect. And they're actually doing social media cleanses right now. And so I think we really have to take time away, unplug everything, get back to our family and friends, the people who are important to us, and really rethink what's important to us. And so again, it's not all about financial advice, it's about that emotional advice, getting you back in check so that you can actually have a normal life. And again, that news media is some of the worst stuff for us. A funny story was, Cynthia, a couple months ago, I came home. It was a long day. I go to get my mail, and I'm walking back towards my house, and my neighbor says, "Hey, Erik, what did the market do today?" And I looked at him and I said, "I have no idea." And he's like, "Isn't that your job?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't look at it every single day. If I looked at it every single day, it would drive me insane."
Of course.
What's interesting is we already have our clients' portfolios figured out for the next 6 to 8 months. So I don't really care what happens in the markets today. We're looking at long-term investing. We're making sure that we have solid performance. We don't have anything that's toxic in the portfolio. So we're geared up to go for the next 6 to 8 months. That's that proactive relationship that we have with our clients. That's what we're putting into place. So again, I don't have to pay attention to the markets. They're going to go up, they're going to go down, they're going to go sideways. We already knew that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Erik, let me ask you, how important is it to stick to your financial plan during times like this?
So I go back to December of 18 when the market melted down. There's a lot of viewers out there who forget about December of 18, but that was a very critical month because all of a sudden 2018 was on fire up until November, and then all of a sudden you got into December and you had these massive drops. Well, the S&P 500 ended up doing about negative 4.5%. So not a great year. That's something that started out to do very well. The thing is that what was very interesting was with our clients, we actually ended up on a positive note that year. We actually ended up having a very good year. So not only were they not looking at their investment portfolios, they were more logging into their financial plan and saying, guess what? Even with a weird month in the stock market, we're still going to be just fine. So the bottom line is that people are using that as their benchmark. And remember, the very first goal of any investor's benchmark should be their personal goals and objectives, not the S&P 500, not peer performance, not the latest fad, not their Uncle Charlie, but their own personal goals. And that's built in their investment plan. And so that financial plan, investment plan is catered to their exact lifestyle. We live in beautiful Southwest Florida.
Yes.
And the one thing is I ask people, how would you feel if you lost your lifestyle? And they're like, I don't want to lose this. Then let's get to work and build you a financial plan.
Again, Erik, because we've talked about this in the past and it's so very true, retirement is not one size fits all. So everything that you do is very customized to that client that's coming into your office. It's not something that's cookie cutter.
Right. I mean, and that's the interesting thing is that, you know, when we get into strategic planning and wealth management, what we're doing is we're taking on a lot of big cases. People are coming into us and they have a lot of tax situations. They have a lot of estate planning issues. They have portfolio issues. They have transfer of generational wealth issues. And so we're trying to figure out, you have all this wealth, how can we pass that on to different generations? And they love that because they're like, I want my money to be lasting for a long time. I want to be able to pass this on.
Sure.
So there a lot of times people are saying, look, you know what, I've outgrown my advisor's capabilities. I want to be with someone who's proactive, who's looking for me down the road. Not only down the road, but generation after generation. And so that's where we come in, and Donna brings her whole financial planning side in, and that's when we really get to work again. We're building all those sophisticated plans, and I just think that's terrific for the client.
This is the perfect time for us to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Erik, would you agree?
I agree.
Okay. To the viewers at home, the phone lines are now open. That number to call is 800-779-1942. What Erik is offering you today is if you have saved over, let's say, $500,000 in investments and retirement planning, what Erik can do is actually take a look at what you currently have in place. Let him design a plan that's going to work for you. It has absolutely no, there's no value that I can tell you how strong enough it is to have a second opinion. If you already have a plan in place, let Erik take a look and make sure it's the right plan for you. Again, the phone lines are now open. That number to call is 800-779-1942. This opportunity is complimentary to the first 10 callers only. We're going to be right back after this very short commercial break. I have some more questions for Erik, and you're not going to want to miss his answers. We'll be right back.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams?
Questions about your retirement are normal. So come into our office, sit down with us, and let us help you find those answers.
Erik and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you.
We specialize in helping people just like you prepare for the retirement that they've always dreamed of.
They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, they'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy.
What I enjoy most about retirement planning is sitting down with you and having real conversations about your retirement dreams and goals.
Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement.
Retirement doesn't have to be scary. Let us help you retire confidently.
Because every dream needs a plan. Call Erik today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
Welcome back to Retirement Talk Television. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Erik Kearney, and Erik is President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Erik, a great show that we're having, obviously, and I love everything we're talking about today, and of course the importance of, staying on the course and making sure that it's working for you. Let me talk to you a little bit about stop buying high and selling low investment cycles.
Yeah, so this is where our emotions really take over. So again, once we build a sound asset allocation, we want to go with that. It's made to get through difficult times. There's so many ingredients in the portfolio that actually I'll get into a little bit. But the problem is that then there's the client's emotions. That's the side that we really have to keep in check. The bottom line is what's really factoring in and what's really playing a critical role in that, again, is the financial plan. And I actually had a gentleman call me up. All you do is talk about financial planning. That's kind of what we do around here. So,
sorry, it is what it is.
Right. And so if anybody, is listening, really what you're going to get out of this show is how critical of a piece that financial plan is. Here's the problem. There's a lot of people that are coming into the office, never have had a financial plan written. They're close to retirement or even in retirement. There's no financial plan. When they sit down with our financial planning department and I explain to them, you're going to have to invest some money in this. I'm sorry, you're going to have to invest some time in this. They're like, okay. And that's the hardest part, because once you invest the time in this, then all of a sudden it's on us. We do all the heavy lifting. Cynthia, wouldn't that be amazing if you were preparing for retirement and I asked you to give me 2 solid hours, 1 hour at a time, and then after that, I understood what all of your goals and objectives were in retirement, and then the ball's in my court.
Sure.
And so every time a life event changes in your life, you're going to let me know, hey, Erik, I want to remodel my kitchen. It's going to be about 50 grand. Where's that money going to come from? We go back to the financial plan and we're like, you already put that in there. And so again, it's controlling all their emotions. We all know that the market has 3 guarantees. You're guaranteed the market will go up. You're guaranteed the market will go sideways. You're guaranteed that the market's going to go down. That's what the markets do. So we're prepared for that. Again, we're creating multiple streams of income for that client that we can turn on and turn off throughout their retirement. But again, it's reverting back to that financial plan. People want to know, Erik, you've done really well over the past 8 years. You've expanded. How have we done that? It's through business planning. We've built the business plan. We understood where our offices strategically have to be. That's why we're in Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, and Bonita. It's very easy to get to us. That was by no means, by accident. So again, that financial plan showed us where we really need to be, how we can fund the offices, and how we can get those up and running. It's no different for a client. Remember, you're going to have a retirement that's going to last you 20, 25, and even 30 years. We have to be prepared for that.
Absolutely. Erik, how important is it to have a professional by your side during this? I mean, you can't take advice from your friends. You can't take advice from people that you work with at the water cooler.
Right.
How important is it to have a professional by your side?
I think through difficult times like this past 12 months, critical.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people who feel like, you know what, I've had an advisor, but I've outgrown their capabilities. And this is really important because we see a lot of people that are coming in and they feel like, you know what, I don't understand my portfolio anymore. I just feel like it's gotten away from me. The problem is that the portfolio has grown substantially, but all of a sudden the planning advice or the portfolio advice has become stagnant. And so there's a lot of times where I say it's very possible you have outgrown, or your portfolio's outgrown, your advisor's capabilities. Now you have to get into something more sophisticated. You have to have an income stream. You have to have concierge service. You have to know that there's a professional there that can actually help you. Are you working with CPAs? Are you working with estate planning attorneys? Are you working with tax attorneys? We have a whole group of professionals around us that when our clients have different needs, we know exactly who to go to. We can rely on these people to help us. So again, this is where people come in, they want to be a one-stop shop, but they say, you know what, Erik, no more screwing around. I want to be serious about my money. How do I actually do that? And again, that's when we go to work. And I tell everybody, you know, I'll get emails, hey, Erik, we decided to sign on with you, so, you know, let us know what we need to do. My email is simple. Okay, we're ready to get to work for you. And I hit send, and that's what it is. I don't have to send them, hey, thank you for coming on board and everything. I just want to get to work for them, and that's exactly what they want. And I've sent out a lot of those emails this year too, so that's good.
I know, and I love that because obviously people are coming in and they're seeing that you're exactly the same in the office as you are on the TV show and the radio, and they love that. They resonate with your personality, just being so positive and so caring. Thank
you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. And you know, it's my privilege. You know, the thing is that it really is a privilege to work with my clients. And so I'm grateful every day that I get up and I get out of bed. I'm excited to go to work. And so I love that ability about that.
Absolutely. And what does it feel like, Erik, to become one of your clients? Let me ask you, what would your clients say if they were sitting with us right here today?
I don't really know. That's a good question. You know, we've gotten a lot of great feedback this year. You know, our clients are like, thanks for reaching out. You know, we appreciate the videos. We appreciate the phone calls. We appreciate meeting with Donna. We appreciate meeting with you. We appreciate meeting with Autumn. The nice thing is that we have a system in place in our office where we put out fires very quickly. I don't want to give away all my secrets, but the one thing is that we have quarterly meetings with all of our staff, and we actually get together and we're like, what do you like that's going on? What don't you like that's going on? How can we better improve the experience for the client? And what we're really trying to do is build a better experience for that client, make it easier for us to reach out to them. And so this last one that we had, I was, first of all, super proud of my staff. They have done an exceptional job this year, as always. But more importantly, I really feel that they've stepped up to the plate for the client. And I think that the client really now feels like they're being taken care of. You know, they had that comforting feeling about them. So I think if they could say anything about me, that they would say that it is a very comforting feeling that they actually have financially. They feel that we've covered all their bases that they need. And again, I believe that we do go above and beyond, and that's really what we strive to do.
Absolutely, which is why everyone is so happy working with you, Erik. So this is the perfect time for us to go ahead and open up the phone lines again to the viewing audience. Would you agree?
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay. To the viewers at home, the phone lines are now open. We realized in the past the phone lines have been busy, so we've added the additional phone line this week for your convenience. That number to call is 800-779-1942. What Erik is offering you, if you have saved up at least $500,000 for your retirement savings, Erik can help design a plan that's going to suit your need for all of your retirement years, no matter how long that may be. Again, this offer is open to the first 10 callers only. It's complimentary. The number to call is 800-779-1942. After this very short commercial break, I'm going to have some more questions for Erik, and you won't want to miss his answers. Please stay tuned.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams?
Questions about your retirement are normal. So come into our office, sit down with us, and let us help you find those answers.
Erik and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you.
We specialize in helping people just like you prepare for the retirement that they've always dreamed of.
They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, they'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy.
What I enjoy most about retirement planning is sitting down with you and having real conversations about your retirement dreams and goals.
Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement.
Retirement doesn't have to be scary. Let us help you retire confidently.
Because every dream needs a plan. Call Erik today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
Welcome back to Retirement Talk TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Erik Kearney, and Erik is President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Erik, a great show, and I want to jump right back in because I know we have so much to talk about and only just about 6 minutes left of the show. But how important is it to identify your own investment behavior?
I think this is critical. So this is where we get down to risk tolerance. And so a lot of people really don't understand what their risk tolerance is. What I like about this is that when a couple comes in, we sit down with them. I want to ask him the same questions that I'm asking her, but I also want them to answer differently. And because a lot of times when one spouse is intimidated by this process, they'll just say, yeah, I agree with what they said. But that's typically not what they mean. And one of my goals is to be that financial referee and to kind of bring people on the same page. And a financial plan, believe it or not, can actually do that, because some people say, I'm very emotional about money. I never really had money. And other people will say, well, I was kind of controlled by money, or I've had a lot of money and I lost my money. We actually had a gentleman come in who actually went through Bernie Madoff and lost about $3 million with him.
Wow.
And then when he came to us, he asked me a lot of questions. And I the first thought, wow, like this is quite the interview. But once he told me that he had been taken by Bernie Madoff way back in 2007, 2008, now all of a sudden I understood where he was coming from.
Sure.
And now I want to give him all the ammunition, because now I know that I have to make him feel like his money is safe, that we're putting together a solid financial plan for him, as well as a strategic financial wealth management system. So the bottom line is that once I understood his emotions and his investment behavior of his past, it was much easier to work with him going forward.
Sure.
And so I think even to this day, we still reach out to him a little bit more than we do the normal client, just because we want to make sure that he feels safe with us, and now we have a great relationship too. But the bottom line is that investment behavior is very important. It plays a huge role. We want to make sure that we're bringing everyone on the same page, and that we're trying to give everyone what they want. And again, we want to reach those goals, but it's sometimes tough to do that until we understand how they feel about money.
Absolutely. And I think it's amazing, obviously, someone who had been taken advantage of like that felt so comfortable staying with you, working with you. That shows as a huge testimonial as your personality, Erik, because obviously trust is so important between a client and an advisor, and without question, they trusted you, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think trust in this industry is something that if you don't have trust with your advisor, you have nothing.
Exactly.
And I feel like there's a lot of people that say, I like my advisor, they're a funny person, they've got some really good jokes, but I'm not so sure that they're capable of handling my money anymore. And again, this past year, there's been a lot of people who feel like their advisor dropped the ball. And so again, they're picking up the phone, they're giving us a call and saying, Erik, I need a second opinion. I need a financial plan. I want someone to take a look at this and making sure that I'm going in the right direction. This year, we've had more referrals than ever before. And now all of a sudden we're seeing a lot more people that are retiring prematurely that they never really expected. So again, we have to be prepared for that. But we first have to get our emotions in check to be able to do that.
Sure.
So a lot of times I think this year there was a lot of hand-holding more than ever before. Just reaching out to people and saying, look, it's going to be okay. You know, take a look at this. You're still going to be able to reach all your goals and objectives. You're still getting your income. If you have healthcare needs, we're still going to be able to provide those. Our oldest client right now is 92 and 94 years old. And the thing is that we go and we sit down with them and we're like, look, you know, they have plenty of money at this point. Thank God we've prepared for that. Now we just want to make them as comfortable as possible. But they still get emotional about things. They still get worried about things. Rightfully so, because I don't see any reason that one of them won't live until 100 years old.
Sure.
And so again, they still have monetary needs. So with all the stuff that has happened over the past 12 months, they get a little anxious as well. And so remember, you're going to get to a certain point in your life where you have defined who you are financially. And at that point, your net worth isn't going to grow that much more. So you may be going through decumulation instead of accumulation, and we have to be prepared for that. So again, when difficult times happen in the market, all these events, you don't want to be blindsided. You want to make sure that your advisor is prepared for that. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to get through these financial hurdles that come along, whether it be taxes, healthcare, inflation, whatever it may be. We want that to be sustainable for you.
Absolutely. Erik, what does it feel like when someone comes in for the very first time to sit with you or to go over with Zoom, actually, a meeting, if you will? What does that feel like for that first consultation?
I think it's just a conversation, Cynthia.
Okay.
You know, we want to sit down with them. What are your top 3 concerns? What brought you in today? How do you feel about money? What's been your current experience? There's a lot of people that are coming in and they're just saying, Erik, again, I should have seen you 4, 5, 6 years ago. We've meant to come in, we've just been putting this off. It's a great time now. Get 21 set in the right direction for yourself. And again, I think it's very laid back. It's not, you know, there's nothing about that meeting other than just meeting like an old friend.
Sure.
And so a lot of times people get to meet our staff and they come in, sit down, have a cup of coffee, whatever it may be, and just kind of put it all out on the line and see if we can put you in a better position.
Absolutely. And again, we've talked about this in the past, Erik, but it's so important if someone in the viewing audience today has a plan in place, they should have a second opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Second opinions. I think this year, more than ever, we've had more second opinion offerings than ever before. But people are starting to question their financial situation. And I think that that's the one thing that we can show.
Absolutely. Well, Erik, I have enjoyed our show so much today. I can't believe that we're almost out of time because, again, it goes by so fast when we're together. To the viewing audience at home, thank you so much for spending time with us again this week. The number to call is 800-779-1942. You only retire once. Get it right the first time. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Southwest Florida, Erik here. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in a second opinion or a fully blown written financial plan, let's get you reacquainted with your portfolio, and again, without any obligation. If you're interested in your very own income plan, let's get you reacquainted with that as well. Give us a call today. Strive for excellence. Your wealth deserves it.